right. Jeremy is here. He says, if I switch from 93 to C85, what all do I need to upgrade on my car to keep from having issues with the fuel breaking down, the fuel lines, and or engine issues? I'm running a 602.
Number one.
Is that C85?
C85
is that a thing?
It's a version of E85.
Okay. All right, great.
All right, so E85, yeah. I mean, or C85, E85. C85 is like more oxygenated than like E85. So number one, yeah, I mean, so long as you're like running number 10 from the cell to the pump.
Number 10 hose?
Hose, yeah.
Okay.
You should be okay. I would, let's see.
What all does he need to do to upgrade on his car to make sure he doesn't have any issues?
You need to run a bypass system for sure on any E85 variant. You need to like run a bypass system, so I would certainly do that. Other than that, I mean, the carburetor is like the main thing. Yeah, I mean, let's see. Fuel line's not like a big issue with the E85 versus gas. So, yeah, I think you'll be all right with probably what you've got, so long as it's like number 10 from the cell to the pump. But, yeah, I mean, the main thing with like going from that kind of fuel to E85 is going to be like a bypass system, in my opinion.
Great.
I mean,
great. And it's, I think the other thing too is you have to make sure you've got an E85 carburetor. If that's kind of gone, I don't know that that's obvious.
Well, I don't know. It's obvious. Yeah,
in concept, hey, I'd like to switch fuels. What all do I need to do?
Yeah, it's not
number one, you need a new
jet change.
Number one, you need a new carburetor. Number two, you need to make sure that you've got a bypass regulator system.
You don't necessarily need a new carburetor.
Because,
let's go with the Rush series. Let's go with the Rush series up north. So this year they're allowing E85. So I've got like a bunch of my customers up there that my brother builds carburetors for, where they're sending the carburetors back and we're converting them.
That's fine. So whether it's new or converted.
Correct.
So it's going to be carburetor. It's going to be running a bypass regulator fuel line and running number 10 lines back to your fuel tank.
Correct. Or number 8's good back to the tank.
Oh, okay.
Like from the tank to the pump is 10.
Okay.
And then
go
back and be 8. Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, this is a really great topic. I actually got a text message earlier this week, and the person asked, what's the best way to put up the X85 fuel system in a street stock for the winter?
Number one, don't let it dry out. So empty everything.
Okay.
The primary problem with E85, which
X85,
you're talking about X85, which is the VP variant.
Yeah. Don't say the word variant on this show. We need a list of banned words.
Variant's one of them. All right. So the only problem with E85 / X85 or R85 or whatever the hell else anybody
version
calls their E85.
Yeah.
Is when it dries out. So when it dries out, just like liquor, I mean, spill some rum on the floor and see what happens. Leave it there to dry out. It gets sticky and gooey and nasty. And that's what happens with E85. So the main thing is don't let it dry out.
Okay, so how do you go about that? Is this like alcohol or methanol where you're going to pour pump gas through the carburetor to clear?
Correct. Yeah, that's what I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there really much of anything else?
No. I mean, just don't let it dry out in the system. If it doesn't dry out in the system, you're fine. So what I would do personally, if it was me, is like, if you're running E85 of whatever variant of E85 version of E85, then what I would do is number one, drain the entire system.
Okay.
Then I would, the lines, I'd probably I don't know, if you got like an old piece of shit Holley carburetor, put it on there and run pump gas through it, honestly. That'd be the quickest way to, make sure everything was all right. But other than that, I mean, I'd drain all the lines, blow everything dry, because you want to dry it. You don't want sit there for 3 months drying.
Okay, that's where I was getting a little bit confused.
Yeah.
So you want to clean it, air dry
Correct.
it. You
Yes,
just don't
correct.
you just don't want
You don't want it to
it
dry
to
out
have
by
this-
itself.
and have
That's what
all
I'm
of the
getting at.
E85
Exactly.
residue all built up.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that'll prevent all the problems.
Like a spilled pie in the oven, it gets
Correct.
baked on. Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha. Yeah. I went full Martha Stewart on that.